I'm Kevin Galloway. I'm the principal owner of Happy Cat BOBA, as well as another business. Here, I'm kind of subordinate to my daughter, Nicole. She's more of the general manager and part owner and knows more than I do. So I've recently learned how to do everything here almost as good as her. But that's my role on a day-to-day basis, and to make sure things operate and provide all the money.
Hi, my name is Nicole Bedoya. I'm also one of the owners here at Happy Cat BOBA, and I serve as the general manager, and I take care of most of the day-to-day basis, everything, deal with the employees and all the girls, making sure everything works and saying hi to all the customers and getting everything done.
Okay, I would say that we wanted to make this very unique amongst BOBA shops. BOBA is a very fast-growing industry, about 1.8 billion in sales nationwide. BOBA shops are popping up everywhere. What we noticed about the other BOBA shops is they tend to be a bit dingy. They tend to have vast menus that are absolutely overwhelming. They tend to not look very fun. Boba is a drink that's supposed to be fun. It's bubbly. It's literally called bubble tea. And it also tends to go towards children. So we made it kind of a kid-themed restaurant. We wanted it bright, fun. The other places can, for lack of better words, look like opium dens. So that is the brand that we tried to build. Also extremely high quality product. A lot of our competitors use, we even caught them using canned boba. That's just awful. It's got to be fresh, made fresh. It's good for 6 hours, and then you got to start over. You don't reuse it. We want the highest quality taste possible. I noticed, my wife and I, we've been married 31 years. Probably in our second year of marriage, we looked at my wife was interested in a boba kiosk called Lollipop. We used to see one at West Oaks Mall down in Southwest Houston, where we lived. They were about $15,000 to buy a kiosk. Well, we were kids. We didn't have $15, let alone $15,000. And lately, over the last couple of years, we noticed boba started to explode in our area. And I thought, well, now I'm successful in another business. Let's give this one a shot too. So I came up with the idea and pitched it to the family. This will be another family business. And I came up with the name of Happy Cat BOBA. I wanted to play off of Hello Kitty, because about 70% of your customer base is female, and they all love Hello Kitty. I couldn't use Hello Kitty because I would get sued into oblivion. So I came up with the idea of Happy Cat. My son-in-law has some artistic talent. I asked him to design a logo, and he designed that. It looked utterly perfect. And then Nicole started to take over the boba while I ran my other business. So Nicole can tell you the rest of the story.
So we took over the lease in September of 2020, was that 23? Yeah, 2023, because I was in the mountains getting proposed to. And then he tells me, he's like, we're getting a lease, putting $5,000 down to lease on the place. And then about December of 2023, we started building out the place. Obviously, that was a really hard journey. The health department is very sticky about sticklers about things. So we got through it. And we made the official grand opening date May 4th. Was it May the 4th?
May the 4th be with you day.
Yeah, because he had my husband dress up as Boba Fett for a boba shop, and I mean it just was a lot to deal with to get it open, and we got the place open. I went to boba school to learn how to make these drinks. Me and Mom went down to the other side of town. They taught us how to do everything, and then I came up with my own recipes to come up with to make different drinks that other boba shops might not have. But my biggest thing was making sure the menu was also small enough that it wasn't going to be wasteful in a way as well. Everyone loves strawberry, everyone loves mango, so it's just like coming up with specific items was interesting to come up with a whole concept. So most of the ones that I grew up going to as a kid was, one, they were all on the other side of town. They were all on the south side of Houston and the Chinatown area, the Beltway, Bel Air area, so we always had to go down there to get a drink. And they tend to really hone in on the Asian aspect, which is like, it's great to a point, but it sometimes pushes people away. It felt too scary for people to come in. So I wanted this place to feel very familiar, very cozy. So that's why we kind of And we knew we were going to deal with a younger audience than the older audience. So I wanted to make things very like colorful with the Gen Z colors and ideas, and just make it feel a little bit less intimidating than when you go to like a place where they're called like gongcha, fengcha, like they're just, it feels very foreign, and I wanted it to feel very at home. It's not scary, and it's not a scary product. It's different. It's a different thing to try. You know, you think of something like I have to chew something while I have a drink. It's like I just see it as a dessert. So yeah.
The biggest single challenge we face is not definitely on a day-to-day basis is we just found out that boba is not typically a cold weather drink. Sales slowed down quite a bit as winter set in. So any business, any organism has to evolve. And we're evolving very quickly. This will soon be Happy Cat Boba Cafe. We're adding a line of food. Banh mi, paninis, mini corn dogs, etc. A lot of our customers can't wait to have that. It's one thing to come occasionally for a boba treat once every couple of weeks. If they know they can grab quick dinners, it's more like a 2 or 3 times a week thing that they'll be coming by, especially if we're using some sort of a combo type meal. To my knowledge, no one else in the business has a boba combo meal. They may cock me after this, but I'll always be the first. So the biggest challenge was, how do we get more money? Add something. And it's relatively easy to add. And you're going to encounter hurdles. If you're starting a business, you think you know it all. Oh man, do you not. So you have to be ready to evolve very, very quickly. And that was how we're evolving, is adding it into, turning it more into a cafe. One of the passions I noticed that I'm really happy I'm going to be able to do for them is I noticed about 1 in 8 of our customers is Islamic. We have a lot of hijabs coming through the door. We have a large Muslim community in this area I never really noticed before. And in adding the food, it dawned on me, I need to be able to cater to my customer and their wants, desires, and needs. Muslims have to eat halal food. Halal is a way meat is prepared. And it's not hard to do. You simply buy halal chicken and halal beef. There's no halal pork, obviously. But in telling my customers in a few weeks we'll be adding a halal menu, they all are very excited and have said, we're just happy you respected us for it. To me, it just seems normal. I mean, why would you not respect their religion? You know, I'm a Baptist. I'm bad at it, so my religion is the National Football League, but I at least respect all the other religions. And to be able to make their day just saying that, hey, I'm going to take care of your needs, is just, it's nice to see the smile on their face from doing that.
It's great to see. When I have my regular customers come in, they come in every Tuesdays on our 2-for-1 Tuesdays, and they just come in so happy, and I see them. I have conversations with them. I'm almost like a bartender, where they can tell their lives to me while I'm making their drinks and stuff like that. Where they talk about their long day and stuff like that. When we had, I remember on our community Facebook had told mom, she posted on the Facebook page saying, my daughter came running downstairs and saying, it's Boba Tuesday. It makes me happy that I know I can make so many people happy. That's just what I like to do in life, is making all these people smile and being the people the person they can vent to, and whatever they need in life, I can give it to them. Even though it's something small, I can do that. I like to smile to people, and I like to treat them like they're just a friend, really. I feel like to a lot of people, or at least when we have like some older people come in, I feel like they might see me as like almost like a daughter, or for the little kids, they see me as like an older sister, and they can just, I try to relate to everybody. I might not have the same experiences as them, but I can still give feedback or advice. I have this one girl who, she was a regular, she's a nursing student and a farm tech at the CVS I go to. I had no idea she started showing up, and now she's basically like my best friend, and she literally comes behind the counters. It's just because I talk to her, and I can relate to her in some ways, or I can give her advice. And I think it's just, like I said earlier, like trying to make this a homey place for people and very familiar. It's not just Yeah, you can do customer service, but for me, it's not just like, oh, you order and you go, here's your drink, have a good day. It's talk to them. People, I have a life, and I feel like it also gives the customer on their side, they like to treat the staff like you see those stories. It's, well, if you talk to them, you might understand why there's kind of like the disconnect.
So we got Gabby. Gabby's the best story to start with on how we select our employees and how we retain them. Gabby reached out to me when I first announced on my community Facebook page, hey, I'm starting a BOBA shop. It'll be in 3 months. We'll get to why it took 9 months later. And Gabby messaged me through Facebook every month going, are we close? Are we close? She desperately wanted to work in a BOBA shop. For lack of better words, and I'm the older guy here with the gray hair, I can call them teeny boppers if I want to. The teeny boppers love the idea of working in a BOBA shop. And Gabby is extremely bubbly, the best possible personality. When the customer walks in the door, you always hear a hello coming out of Gabby's mouth. And as retention, she knows her job very well. The customers like seeing her big smile. Who doesn't like being smiled at? So, and she's very reliable. She doesn't call off. And she was easy to train. Same thing with another girl named Avery. Avery's our other employee. Avery has an outgoing personality, was easy to train, no kind of issues. In the beginning, we hired a little bit too many people, and we noticed very, very quickly the boys, they're not like girls. They're like having cutouts standing back there. It's zombie land. They just stand there like a bump on a log till you tell them to do something. Maybe like a robot. There's no inputs, there's no output. And I can't teach personality. It's, you gotta have it. And I think we had 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
And they also are just kind of doofuses. They don't retain info like girls do. I couldn't tell you why. And I've noticed that in almost any aspect of my life, whether I'm coaching sports, teaching people how to shoot, training employees. Girls retain better than boys. Boys are kind of stupid. So, yeah, get that on film. It's there. There's not a whole lot of advice I can give, and I can tell you a little bit more backstory on how on hiring, because my previous life in 17 years, I was an executive or owner in the security guard industry. Over 17 years, I ran the math out. I hired and fired 15,000 employees. Now, that would make me an absolute expert, right? No. Hiring is an absolute roll of the dice. No one is closer to perfectionism when they write their resume. No one ever sat in front of an interview and said, I'm a screw up. There's only, huh?
I wish.
Wait. There have been some instances in my experience where they have. I'll never forget this. I once had a girl, she was applying for a security guard position, and I said, I have to ask about the drug arrest you had in Miami in 1982, and she said, 1992, and she said, is that the only one you found? So, it's always great when they do, but they never do. They never do. So, whether when you're hiring, you can weed out. That actually happened. You can weed out some. But it's still going to be now. You can tell, if you're in a customer service environment and they're a bump on the log, they have no personality. This isn't the job for them. You can tell that in the interview. Okay, they need to be working in a warehouse and whatnot. If you can tell in the interview does not play well with others, is on their kindergarten record, you don't hire them to greet the public.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, you're kind of rolling the dice. And what I can say there too is, understand that people are not going to be perfect. No one's going to see exactly how you do to run things. They're going to make mistakes. Give them some leeway. There's an old saying I learned: don't show a man what to do, tell him what to do, and let him surprise you with his ingenuity. It's a great line. It came from Beavis and Butthead. And it actually works. That line from Beavis and Butthead works. Same thing with employees. Gabby is more talented than I am behind that counter because she's been doing it longer and kind of has a passion for it. So does Avery. Where to find them? That's kind of a tougher thing. One of the things I found over the years is once you get one good employee, you decide you need another employee, go to that employee and say, do you know somebody, before you go on Indeed.com. Yeah. Get a referral, because they don't want to bring in their friends who are going to screw up and make them look bad. They're kind of pre-screened that way. And in my other business, my window cleaning business, I would hire some guys from high school and college guys, and they would go out of their way to not send the bad ones. Customer loyalty in any restaurant, in any business for the one thing, but in restaurants, you will die without it. If you have a customer has a 2 in 10 chance, 20% chance of having a good experience and writing a good review. If they have a bad experience, that jumps to 11 in 10. They're going to write them twice. That's the way humans are. So you must have customer loyalty. As you saw in our little break, we had at least one guy that was one of our regulars came in.
Yeah, he was just here
and
last night.
a new person that came in and says, we'll be back tomorrow. So people, you have to build an experience for them. They can go get boba at 10 different places.
Yeah.
We've had so many of them tell us, we love yours. We love the cat. We love the video games. We love the quality of your boba. We love the fact that it's clean. That's one of the biggest things we get is clean. They're walking these other places. It's sticky. It's gross. You got to stay clean. So customer loyalty is everything in any business. In my other business, in window cleaning, I have customers that have been with me for 11 years since I began. And we go twice a year. The loyalty is how I've built that business, and if you think about it in terms of numbers, not just the experience for you, the happy, oh, my heart's good. It builds money, which is why we do this. So I have 1,000 customers a year in the other business. That is a fleet of 1,000 ships. If 10 of them get sunk, 10 more will come by. Instead of having 10 large customers, when you lose one, it hurts. Same thing in here. The average ticket sale in here is probably about $12.
Yeah, about 2 drinks.
So if you lose one, it's not going to hurt. But if you build a cult following, that's the difference.
So with the customer loyalty, and that's what I said earlier with the experience of the customers, that's why I like to talk to them. It gets them to come back here versus the other place. They're like, oh, I just got a drink. Here it's like, oh, the girl there, when they write the review saying the girls there were so nice, talk to them, my drink was great and everything like that. That's why I like to talk with the people. It's one, I'm just extroverted. I like to learn everyone's stories and where they came from, but it's just making them feel like, hey, this place actually pays attention to me, not just like they're not just a number on the ticket, like it's a name, it's a person. I have customers that literally we go by name. I'm like, Hillary, it's you, it's all her kids, Annie, and them, and it's the customer loyalty. We need it and we love it. It's not just from like, oh yeah, we need it from the business side. It's just we like knowing that the community likes us.
There's a show that people my age know called Cheers. You've even seen it.
Yeah.
And the theme song to Cheers was, you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they always had the same loyal barflies in there. It's the same thing, it's just we're not serving alcohol yet. If I can figure out how to serve alcohol to the parents and boba to the kids, I'm gonna be richer than Elon. But everybody knows your name. You want people to be comfortable. I want to be comfortable. I go to a restaurant in Tomball, and I'll just give them a shameless plug. Gianna Italian Restaurant in Tomball. It's my favorite restaurant in the known universe. The owner says hi to you every time you go in. The food is awesome. It's relatively cheap. It's a very nice, calm atmosphere, and I feel good there. So we don't go to Olive Garden. We don't try other Italian places. We like Gianna. That's just the way it is. For Mexican, it's Lupe Tortilla. They have the best fajitas in the known universe. And we'll always go back because of that. That's my loyalty to them. Struggling with loyalty. One of the things I could say is get somebody, get a friend of yours that your staff doesn't know, and have them go in and give you a real feedback of what happened. In my other business, I had some questionable employees, and I sent them to my wife's friend's house to do windows. And one of the idiots, besides other dumb things they were doing, the customer had a 1960 hopped up pickup truck, their little hot rod. My employees pulled the keys off the wall and started it. This is the kind of crap that was going on behind my back. Yeah. So send in secret. It's called the secret shopper. Send in a secret shopper. Get feedback. Oh. They'll tell you, well, your crab cakes were cold, or do a Gordon Ramsay type deal, and see what the issue is there.
Yeah.
and be honest with yourself. In another business I ran years ago, the security guard business, I seem to have a morale problem amongst my staff. So I put out a survey of 1 to 10 things to my security guards. What do you like? Rank them in order of 1 to 10, from higher pay to being treated with respect to being in the know. I wanted no names. I wanted this completely anonymous. There's not a place to put names. Just circle them in order. So number 1 with a bullet was being treated with respect. Number 5 was higher pay. Now I asked my 2 managers to do the same. My HR manager, I'll take this to my grave, I remember doing this, thought the employees would say being treated with respect was 10th. And I figured it out. You're a jerk to my employees. I threatened them with termination. You're being a jerk. That was where and it changed night and day. I did a secret shopper type deal. So send in a secret shopper to find out what are the complaints. Get real feedback and then act on them. Put your ego aside. If you don't have customers, you don't have business. If you don't have business, well, you're dead. So somebody needs to be extroverted. Introverts do not do well in customer service.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. They make great computer nerds and warehouse workers and whatnot. They don't make good salespeople. This is sales. It is.
Yeah.
So, if you're the owner and you're not extroverted, go get one. So it's like I used to teach when I taught how to sell outside salespeople. The number one quality of a salesperson isn't a good personality. I want them greedy. I want them to never be satisfied with not enough commissions. I want them to get more and more and more. Same thing. You want somebody who's very outgoing. You don't want somebody mousy back there. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. Now, do you think you can make them into that? Maybe. I didn't used to be this kind of an extrovert. Here's a weird story for you. Oddly enough, I learned how to be this kind of dynamo, larger than life, in your face kind of guy from a god-awful company called Amway. Multi-level marketing, pyramid scheme crap. But what it taught me was how to walk up to a stranger and start talking to him just out of the blue. I can meet anybody anywhere. You put me in a room with 10 people I've never met, I have 10 friends in about 5 minutes. Amway taught me to do that. You simply talk to people. When your customers are coming, if you're having a customer loyalty problem and it seems like it's boring, when your customers are coming in, say hi to them. Ask them, how was your day? What is it you do for a living? Boom. What is the number one thing that people want to talk about? What's the number one thing? What's the most important thing in your life, Nicole?
Myself.
Nicole.
Myself.
That's everybody. Have you noticed how impressed I am with myself? Very impressed. Ask somebody what they want. What is it you do? And they will talk. And then suddenly you listen to them, and they think they have a friend, and they do have a friend.
I literally had a lady hugging me earlier. That's how she greeted me. She sees me as a friend. She's like, hi, and like her name, we call her Miss Rita, and she's literally hugging me. Yeah, it was earlier today.
I've met her.
And she was literally just telling me how she's having issues with her mom. Her mom's unfortunately not doing well health-wise, and I just let her talk about it, and that's all she needs. And I was her highlight of the day. I don't know what else happens in her life, but at least I know I made her a little happy today, and that was she was able to smile and bless me for the day.
I want to touch on what she said there. You don't do it. You don't fake it.
No.
You need to be genuine.
Yeah.
There's a movie called Jerry Maguire, Tom Cruise movie. He's a pro football agent, but they have this salesperson in there that I always took away something he said was, before you sell anybody, you got to love everybody. Every person who walks to the store has a story, good, bad, or indifferent, and I want to hear their stories because they're interesting. And you can see some of the comments I've made. I've picked up these little tidbits over there. It becomes part of my story. So it literally is camaraderie and loving your other human being that makes your business better. Is number one, I thought that this was going to be a high school hangout. That was my idea. I wanted all the teeny boppers hanging out here after school. I didn't know that they have so many damn extracurriculars, they don't do that anymore. We did that in high school, so they don't. So what we figured out very quickly was elementary school kids are the target. They're the ones coming in. Well, how do we get more of them? You can't get more of them through the door, but you can go to them. So we go to the schools. We made a mobile BOBA setup. We don't take the whole menu. But we go to the schools at discounted prices because of volume. We'll be at their field days and their Christmas shows and teacher appreciation days. Teachers love free stuff. And so you have that event. We're going to the Woodlands Marathon. We'll be at the Houston Kids Triathlon. We did try an anime festival because dorks, dweeds, goths, emos tend to like our product. We didn't do as well as we thought. We're a little surprised, but we gave it a try. But as far as events go, you go out to them. If you can figure out a way to bring your product to a customer, I mean, Jeff Bezos is the second richest man in the world because he figured out how to take it to the customer rather than them going to Walmart. I'm not quite Bezos yet, but I'm working on it. I ran the math on him. If he makes 1/4 of a penny off of every Amazon purchase in the world, he makes $38 million a day. And he started in his garage.
So trying to keep up with the industry. So obviously I like to have like my baseline of going, here are the flavors that always work. This is it. Strawberry, mango, those are your classic flavors you always know. But I like to change it up each time, come up with like a new flavor you don't think of.
July 4th.
Yeah, July 4th, I made like a strawberries and cream smoothie. It was like the red, white, and blue drink, and then we kept it for when the Olympics came through because people loved it so much. And then the winter time, we brought the creme brulee milk tea. It's another dessert and a drink.
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice, yeah.
We literally marketed that. We literally marketed the pumpkin spice. Dear white chicks, we have your pumpkin spice. Uggs are optional. Because all white chicks love pumpkin spice. So we can put it on anything. I can put it on paninis. They'll buy it just as it's pumpkin spice. So that's how you kind of innovate. There's not a tremendous amount of innovation in this.
It doesn't go super out there. If you go to other boba shops, they do a little different. One puts like whole ice cream in there. I like to remind myself what is the demographic I'm dealing with in this area up in North Houston. Majority of the people, they don't know what boba is. So the biggest thing I've learned, at least with this shop, is like I have to teach what boba is to people compared to going down to Chinatown. They already know what they want. Here, I like to teach the people, I give them little samples and everything. It doesn't cost me anything to give a sample and again, teach the person. And that, comes back to the customer loyalty. Like I said, they get recognized. They don't like going to a place and it's new to them and they're just kind of thrown into it. With this place, I teach them, I was like, here's all the different flavors, here's all the different styles there are, what works best for you and your kids and everything like that. So yeah, there's not too much innovation, but you can definitely, venture out. I tell the employees, if there's a drink, you're allowed to make it, try it. If it works, absolutely we'll sell it. You come up with weird combinations, the customers come up with interesting combinations that you didn't know would work, and they work somehow. I want Happy Cat to be familiar to people. Like I said, so many boba places, I get it, it's foreign. So a lot of people, this is a new experience to them. It's still slowly becoming mainstream. The kids see it, but older people have not yet. I don't want to make this a scary experience for people. That's why I want to teach them, this is what boba is. If you don't like it, that's fine. At least you tried something new. And we can probably find something that you like, or I can at least work around it. That's why I've also come up with drinks that, maybe the whole family doesn't like boba. It's one kid wants to drag in. Like I still have something for mom, dad. We literally have an orange dreamsicle that I like to say is the dad special. And stuff like that. I want this to be a very homey place for people that they can come, when, they have the kids for the weekend, it's one of those days out where like they have all the free time and they're like, yeah, let's go to Happy Cat. Like that's on the list of places to go for the day. Or, their kid, it's their birthday and they come here. This is what they choose to. And that's how I want to see Happy Cat is just be the place that people love to come to and to make those experiences for themselves. He owned it, but then when I became 18, that was my graduation gift, was I became the general manager. That was my graduation gift, and I took over. I did everything. He just sat at home waiting for me to bring home the checks.
I did nothing, and I was great at it.
No, for the longest time, the customers they used to be like, "Where's Kevin?" Now they didn't
watching cartoons, hunting. No. Doing flight school.
But now, you go to houses now and they're like, where's Nicole?
Yep.
Why isn't she here?
Yep.
Obviously, I want to see Happy Cat survive. It's very hard right now in these past couple of years, seeing the economic turmoil there was, and all around you to see another restaurant closing. I don't want that to happen. I want to see Happy Cat survive. And, I love being a business owner. I dropped out of college because I was like, I don't need a degree. I run businesses. I went to college and they're like, we're going to teach you how to get a job. I was like, I have a job. Teach me how to run it. So I want it to live and I want it to thrive. I want this to be my livelihood because that's all I know. I know how to clean windows with US Window Cleaning and make Boba a Happy Cat. I have some Excel and Word, but this is what I like to do. And even with my husband, he wants his own business, and that's what we want to be. It's just business owners. 5-10 years, this is just running by itself. The girls take care of it. They call me if they have a problem. I'm there, but I can have a pretty free life. When I have kids and stuff, and they're running around here in this store, and I make it a new thing for them, and that they can join in the future. They always say, be careful, working with family and stuff. Working with my family. I've always got along with my dad, and that's what I know and I love.
You better. Beginning. Nicole was 18 years old and overseeing men who could be 22, 23 years old. There was a little bit of resentment among some of them. There was a little bit of misogyny. I don't have to listen to a woman. Like, geez, you know what century you're in, you little idiots. So, and she's tougher than you. So, but what I wanted both my daughter and my son to be shielded from is corporate America. There's a movie called Fight Club that has a hilarious line where Brad Pitt, as Tyler Durden says, we work jobs we hate to buy stuff we don't need. And I don't want my children to have to go through that. As business owners, you have a lot more pride. You own it, it's yours, and you can control it. You can get rid of customers if you don't like them, they're really terrible. You can get rid of employees. So they're shielded from ever having to deal with that in their entire lives. Both of them have seen this. Nicole has worked side by side with me in the window business, literally driving in the truck together for years. And I've always tried to make sure it's a very pleasant, as pleasant as it can get. I've never lorded over her. I won't do it to the boy either when he comes of age and he joins the business. He's already said he's seen how it works and would much rather do this than go out and get the degree and then answer to some other guy. You work for yourself, and it's just so much better. And not too many people can do it because it's scary too. Because you can't go to somebody else and say, hey, give me a paycheck. Well, you own the place, stupid. It's up to you. So it's scary, but I also instilled that in my children. You take the risk. Fortune favors the bold. And 5 years from now, I want to see multiple locations. Nicole has this one. Stephen has one in Bridgeland or Katy or wherever we put it. And then, she mentioned grandchildren. I don't want those yet. I'm only 51. But
I'm giving you a few more years.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want them yet.
But, we know of my wife being Cambodian, we know lots of donut store owners because Cambodians by law have to own donut stores. Somehow mine didn't. And this one family has 6, one for each child. They just kept expanding it. As a child was turning 18, okay, go build them a donut store. So that we could do that with grandchildren. This could be literally a familial, generational deal. Big things have small beginnings. We all started as single cells. Look at us now. So we start with a single boba shop, and the next thing you know, we've got 15 of them around town or something. There's a point of break. There's a point of I've also been involved in large organizations. There's a point of diminishing returns. It's like, is it really worth it? But if each family member had their own and they're earning enough to where they have a nice, comfortable lifestyle, that's good enough for me.
We are asking the community to just talk to each other. That's really the biggest thing we learned is that it's the word of mouth that gets people to come to places, even in this business and our other business. So we just want the people to say things. Actually, don't keep it to yourself. Say it to people, say to your friends. Like, I go to Happy Cat Boba that is on at 6224 Spring Cypress Road. At Suite 115, we're the little cat out here next to the massage place and the flooring. We're right in between. I know we're a little small, but we have such big hearts, and we want the community to see that, and we want you to tell everybody, not just to your friends, but to your enemies or to people random strangers. Tell them. Be like, yeah, this drink came from Happy Cat Boba.
So I'm Kevin, the owner of Happy Cat Boba. Just want to say thank you to everybody who's come by since May 4th of last year. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, my old joke that I use. We'll be adding a cafe menu soon. That cafe menu will also have halal meals on it for our Muslim customers. And make sure to come by on Tuesdays. It's always buy one, get one free on Tuesdays, 2 for Tuesdays.